people, and welcome back to my channel. So I know it has been a while, and I think you'll forgive me after this video and you'll know why I was absent pretty much like all of March and April, because it's March, April. I haven't really been posting my weekly vlogs, but there is a good reason, a dang good reason. And I am going to warn you right now, I will cry in this video, so that's just a warning. I'm gonna cry. You guys know I don't cry like that, but I'm emotional, so gets emotional. So before I get started, let me just shameless plug. I have on HONEYLICIOUS collection on my lips. This is Rosé, and I have on Cotton Candy lip liner, so HONEYLICIOUS collection, and also my nose rings. These nose rings pop on and off. You don't need a hole. As I told you guys before, Nala ripped out my hole. My daughter, my youngest, ripped out, well, she didn't rip out my hole. She ripped out my nose ring that I previously had, and the hole closed like this. So I haven't got it re-pierced, but this is cute, it suffices. And HONEYLICIOUS collection eyelashes. And I'm gonna need y'all support, especially now, because I need to be making this money after I tell y'all what this surprise is. So yes, make sure you shop HONEYLICIOUS collection. I'll put the link to everything down below. So before I tell you guys what the surprise is, I just wanted to give you guys a little backstory, because most of you guys have been following me. If you started with me on my journey on YouTube, it was like 2016 when I was pregnant with Nova, my first daughter. If you're new here, I have 3 babies, Nova, Nala, and I am currently pregnant with baby number 3, which is my boy. It's not a surprise now, I will gender reveal. It's a boy, I know the name, I haven't told you guys yet. But yes, so I got 3 kids now. But you guys kind of know my story from when I started YouTube, and you guys have watched me grow, and you all are part of my YouTube family, which I appreciate and value you guys so much. But I've never really talked to you guys about like growing up and how my life was like growing up. And I feel like there's probably an idea that you have made up in your mind about how it was growing up, and it's probably the opposite of how it was. So the reason I want to tell you a little bit about that is just because it's important to this new thing now. So little story time. When I was growing up, first of all, I'm from California. I live in Atlanta now, but I'm from California, like the Bay Area. And so for me growing up, I never really had like a home a majority of the time growing up. Like we bounced around to different places. So I've lived in motels. Not even talking about hotels, which are like nice, like, you know, the Westin or Hilton or Marriott or whatever you consider a nice hotel. I'm talking about like motels, like Easy 8, Travel Lodge. I've lived there. I remember, might get a little emotional now. I'm pregnant, but I'm also like filled with a lot of emotions just based on what else I'm gonna tell you guys. But I remember one time I was a cheerleader, and my coach, Coach Bev, shout out to her, I loved her. She was dropping me off at home, and you know, all the girls were in the car, and she's dropping me off, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna wait for you to go inside. And I was like, oh no, it's okay, like you don't have to wait for me to go inside, like I'm just gonna go around the back, like I'm in. So it's like this really pretty house. So I go around the back to our trailer. Like that's where me and my dad were living at, was this little tiny itty bitty trailer in the backyard, and he was renting the trailer from the lady who owned the house. So it was a small trailer. This is when I was probably like 12, 13 years old. Literally, you could touch each side of the trailer if you just had your arms extended. And that's where me and my dad lived. I don't even think I was allowed to do a number 2 in the trailer. I think we had to go in the house to do that. We can only go pee or whatever in the trailer, you know, maybe TMI, but it just is what it is. I remember one Christmas, my dad bought a Christmas tree for our trailer, and it was probably the size of like this water bottle. This was our little Christmas tree that we had because that's really all that could fit in the trailer. And I remember that story so vividly because it was just like, I didn't want like my friends to know like I was living in the backyard of somebody's beautiful house, but like in this little tiny trailer. Like it was, you know, it's like embarrassing and stuff for a kid. And so even when we used to live in different motels and stuff like that, we just like moved around a lot because we just didn't have a home. I mean, I guess, I don't know if you say I was homeless, but I didn't have a home for a lot, you know. But I don't want it to sound like I didn't have food or something like that. I always had food. I always had clothes. Like it wasn't anything like that. I wasn't like struggling for anything. We just didn't have anywhere solid to live. That was the problem. I remember when we first when we first moved into this apartment. It was like the first apartment we had in like ever. I don't even remember like having another apartment before then. Shout out to Q-tips. I keep the makeup cute. But it was like this little 1-bedroom apartment. It was upstairs, downstairs, which I thought was so cool. And I just remember being so excited that we had somewhere to live, like permanently, like, oh my gosh, we have a spot. And I remember even knowing it was only 1 bedroom, I wasn't gonna have my own room still. I remember like thinking how cool it was that there was a little spot under the steps. I was like, oh, I could sleep here under the steps. Just being like grateful for that, you know, to have that. I'm pretty sure I slept on the couch all the years we lived there at that apartment. It's just a lot. It really is. It's a lot. But like I said, I don't want it to be confused as if like I didn't never have food or I didn't have transportation to get somewhere or I wasn't loved or anything. Like I still had like a great childhood. It's just the fact that I didn't have a home to call my own, you know? And I always saw people with these big old pretty houses and I'd always wanted that. Or like if my friends had nice houses and I'm like, dang, I wish I had that. Like that'd be cool. Gosh, it's just a lot. So on to the good news. I know that was a little bit much. I just wanted you guys to have an idea of how important this is to me because of my past and you know how I grew up, and maybe you've had an idea that I just had like a really like suburban like lifestyle or something. I didn't. I lived in the hood for real. I really did. Everywhere I lived was just a lot of it hood. But that's okay, because that is what made me the person I am today. That's how I got to where I am now, which I am able to share this great news with you guys, and I can appreciate it and value it that much more. So the exciting news is that I just closed on my first house. Yeah! Clear to close. Clear to close. All praises be to the Most High, my Lord and Savior. That's really who got me through it. But yes, I officially closed. It's my house. It's not anybody's house. It's in my name. I own this house. It belongs to me. I mean, really, it belongs to the Lord. Everything we got on the planet belongs to the Lord. But the house is in my name, and so that's what I've been doing this past month, is just going through the process of getting this house. as mine, you know? So it's been a long process. It's $1 million house. Can you believe that my very first house is $1 million house? Like, what?
This is Jackie's big day. Yes, and she's getting ready to close her escrow. How amazing is this? She did the job, the J-O-B, all the work. So now look at what's happening.
Got to Miami. Nobody spoke English.
Got some chocolate?
Trying to get a car.
Yeah.
So you can see why it's so much more special to me because of how I grew up and just wanting that and visualizing that and seeing that and wanting that for myself, and now to be able to get that. And if there's any parents in here, you know, all you want for your kids is just better than you had. You know, you don't want them to go through any of the struggles that you went through as a kid. You just don't want that. You want them to have just a better quality of life. Your parents did the most and the best that they could do for you, and you want to do the best that you could do for your kids. That is my exciting news. It's been a journey. Anybody who's bought a house is probably so stressful, but I'm just ecstatic. And so I've been on this house hunt literally for 2 years. Like, DC's gone with me to look at houses like that I wanted to buy for myself. Like, I just wanted to buy a house. Not DC's house, not anybody else's house, my own house. So I've been looking for like 2 years, but I was more actively looking these past couple of months. So that is what took a lot of my time away from YouTube, just like driving around looking for months and putting offers in. It's a seller's market, so you know, I thought I was overbidding and somebody overbid my overbid, and you know, it's just a seller's market and I have like very expensive taste apparently. So it has just been a struggle getting somebody to accept my offer, but it all worked out for the best because I'm glad nobody accepted. Like, I put in like 2 offers I think prior to this being my 3rd offer on a house, and I'm glad they didn't because this is literally my little dream house. Like, it literally is. It has everything that I wanted. I am going to put a note on the screen right here that I wrote 2 years ago. Like I said, when me and DC were just driving around looking, and it's in the community that I looked at 2 years ago, and I loved a house over there. I wanted to live over there. I've been said that. But it also has everything that I wanted on my list. I had wrote a list of everything I wanted, and I put it in my notes, and you can see it says like something 2020 is when I wrote it. And you can see all the things I want. I have everything on my list. Other houses I put an offer on, they didn't have every single thing. Like, they had some of them. This one has everything. So I know it was God, like, just wait, just hold on. Like, I know you want this house, calm down, Sparky. Like, this isn't the one for you. But this one, everything worked out smoothly. It's just stressful when you're just buying a house altogether. It's just a lot. Anybody who could testify to that, go comment below. Like, yes, girl, it's a lot of hard work buying a house. So I've been stressed. I've had restless nights, high anxiety. And this is not my thing at all. Like, I've never liked that as a person. I'm just not. I'm just very calm, cool, collected. Like, I don't let things get to me. I don't let things stress me. But this has been stressful. I literally have apologized to my son so many times. Like, I'm sorry in there, baby. Like, please just bear with me. This process is almost over. And now it is, because now I can breathe and relax. I haven't moved in yet. I'm still at my old house right now. I'm filming from my old house. I want to make sure I get this video out for you guys before I get over to my new house. I definitely have to give my shout out / thank yous to everybody who's assisted me in one way or another during this process. I literally couldn't do it without them. First of all, God, like I said, first and foremost, like, literally got me through this. Next would be DC. DC played a huge role in this. He helped me out tremendously. I know he was so sick and tired of hearing me talk about this house, but he played such a huge role. So I thank him so much. I just so appreciative for the major help that he's played. Shout out to my family, my Auntie Ann who lives with me. She's been my biggest cheerleader throughout this whole process, because for a large portion of this process, I didn't tell anybody except for like DC and my aunt. So it's like they were the only ones who knew. So my aunt is like, you got this, keep going, like it's okay. Like, you know, just being a cheerleader, you need that support. So I'm so appreciative of that from her. And the rest of my family just really came through. My Auntie Carol, my Auntie Pam, my Auntie Lori, Stacy, her husband Chad, Melissa, TT, my little brother Keithy, DC's mom, Mama Fly, that's my family. And then also my best friends, Lolo, B. Simone, Kyra, Connor, my homeboy Kate Ford, and my hairstylist Miss Diane. She does my braids. She just pours into me every time she does my hair. I love when she does my hair because she's just full of information. You know, those people who just know so much about everything. Shout out to her, because she definitely helped me. And Miss Rachel, who was somebody I met during this process, who she like came through the last quarter and pushed me on through. So shout out to Miss Rachel. And lastly, I want to thank you guys, YouTube, because I'm buying this house with like YouTube checks. I'm buying this house with J Nova collection money. You know, this is like social media. That's crazy that I'm able to get $1 million home just off of you guys watching my YouTube videos or being supporters and you know, purchasing my products. That's why in the beginning I was like, oh, head on and just shop, please, because we need it. I have a mortgage. But I am so grateful for you guys for sticking by me and just watching my videos and following my journey. I hope this video gave you guys a little bit of insight into my past a little bit. And if you want more videos of me like talking about like things just like growing up and stuff like that, I most certainly will. Make sure you comment below. I'm happy, you know, you have peaks and valleys in your life. This is definitely a peak, and I'm so grateful and thankful for this moment. I won't ever forget the process that it took to go through to get this. So it's gonna make me value and appreciate my new home more. J Nova collection, use the code HOMEOWNER, HOMEOWNER, home owner. Use that one word. You're gonna get a special discount just for watching this whole video and, you know, rocking with me. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any tips for me, you know, being a new homeowner, any advice or just, you know, loving comments that you guys want to leave below, I am going to read them and respond to as much as I can. You know, I'm moving, so, you know, I gotta go pack these boxes now. So thank you guys so much, and I love you, and I'll see you next video. Bye.